morning, everyone. So we are almost in the home stretch, the last week of annual election period, which is, I must say, this year has been slower than most. In my consensus from other agents and from other regional brokers that work with the companies, it has been quite slow. I don't know why. I'm sure the Medicare Advantage industry and Part D industry have spent billions of dollars on advertising. Perhaps the customers are feeling better where they are. Maybe the plans have changed to a point where they are acceptable and they don't want to have any new things going on. And that's really important, having a steady medical plan. Now, what about people who are changing? And how do you make sure your clients aren't those that want to change? Well, a recent study found that about 64% of Medicare beneficiaries don't really know when annual election period is, and then there's about 50 some odd percent that actually don't even change. So if you have most of your clients that didn't change, then that's normal. So don't think like, oh, I should have addressed them or anything. But the norm, or at least 50% or more of people don't change and really don't have any negative effect about changing. It's not like they're losing a whole lot of benefits. And for someone like myself, who looks at all the plans in a certain county in certain states, the plans are very, very similar. There are a few things that are maybe, I guess material. I like to call it like metrics that matter. There are a few things that may be largely different, but many of that comes from research that the client has to do themselves. For example, they know that they're having surgery. They know that they need to find a good orthopedic doctor. They know that they're going to be in for a hospitalization. When those things are known, then it's easy for them, or for us as agents, to find the plan that's going to have the better co-pays and better network, better access for the client. But until they know that, it really is about risk mitigation. And the plans all have the same variance, I guess you could call it, of risk mitigation. Therefore, most people are okay where they are. That's why most people don't change, over half, and most people don't even know when they can change because, well, it doesn't even register in their mind that it is something that is important to do. Not like how we as agents it's important for us for, well, two reasons, right? It's how we can get more clients, and also how we can avoid any of those like awkward conversations where people are like, well, how come I can't when can I change a plan? Like, why didn't you tell me, So for us as agents, it's a little bit different. We have a little bit different perspective and agenda. So it's okay if your clients didn't change. But what can you do mid-year if clients do have problems or questions, right, with their new plan? Well, there's open enrollment period, which I must say has got to be the worst name for this next period, because Medicare, I saw a commercial paid for by Health and Human Service, pretty much CMS's big umbrella government agency, calling this period the open enrollment period on a commercial. So it's confusing. But there is one more chance for them to change, to potentially change back, or change into another program that maybe their doctors are a part of. Another thing to think about during this time, the OEP, is to teach your clients how to use the plan. Or, like what I do, is I teach clients the kind of downfalls of all the plans and how to prepare for certain things, like getting a prior authorization, calling your insurance company to get things pushed through, calling around to find out if a service is cheaper somewhere else, potentially drugs, right, for medications. If they have a new medication, reach out to me, or you can teach them how to use the coupon cards themselves, which is something that I have recently been working really hard on doing, because I feel like drug plans will start to remove the agent from the commission structure, especially with the new laws that have passed costs that are going to full effect in 2025, I mentioned this before, it is going to be difficult for Part D plan sponsors to afford a $2,000 cap on medications when, a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but I feel like the prescription drug usage is going to become much higher now that there's a cap. Here's why. A lot of people on Medicare Part D will not pick up medications due to not having enough money. And if the consumer gets more educated and finds out that there is a spending cap, and that spending cap is just about $200 a month, if they can budget $200 a month, now their medications that were costing $400, $500, $600 a month are going to be far less because they have a cap of $2,000. The old system, or the current system actually, if someone has a medication that's $400, $500, $600 a month, and other medications that are around that same cost, they will be paying roughly $3,000 to $4,000 a year just on those medications alone, not including the plan and also other medications that they may have. Under the new system, that individual will have a $2,000 cap on their drugs, regardless of the plan that they pick. The medications do have to be on formulary, but they could be on a plan that's maybe $30 a month and still have, a $2,000 cap. Versus someone else might have a $120 plan that has a $2,000 cap. So now the consumer will be a little bit more motivated to really dial in that plan and also spend properly, because now you have that cap. Now it might be just, this is all speculation, is what I would do if I had this type of scenario, but for the most part, I believe it will come into play in 2025 when this new regulation goes into full effect. But that's what I would do. Now the AEP is winding down, it's okay if your clients don't want to change. Not most of them don't. It's okay to start thinking about what you're going to do next year, reflect, right? And then also teaching your clients how to use the plan, how to call your insurance company, how to use the insurance documents, how to use a drug plan, how to find better deals with coupon cards, how to find better deals at doctor offices. Stay in network. Maybe some network places actually charge a little bit more than others, Maybe sometimes there's places that don't accept or that don't take insurance and they just take cash prices. There are places just like that. Well, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment sections below. Be sure to have a happy Christmas, New Year's, and if you want to learn more about potentially your own situation based on retiring or investing or insurance for yourself, do follow my other channel, Matthew Ragudo. On that channel, I do more things like personal finance, so that you can have a very, very, very prosperous and successful time as a insurance agent, someone self-employed. But that's all for me today. You guys have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye now.